Welcome back to the channel. In this episode I'm going to fit this chain using this chain riveting tool. So before we get into the riveting of the chain and the work involved, I think it's quite important to point out that when you fitted a chain, there's a certain spec that the rivet has to be flared to. So before embarking on a job that I've not done many times, I've done a couple of chains but not that many, I will do my research and I will check how to do it properly. Now I've looked online and I've watched a couple of other YouTube videos and some from some quite big channels, and I don't think that they're doing it properly. That's a big claim from somebody who's a bit of an amateur. It doesn't look like they're doing it properly. Now if you look at the spec on the chain, it's a D.I.D chain, and lots of other chains will probably be the same. When you fit the chain rivet or the master chain, there's a certain amount of flare you must put on the rivet to secure it in place. If you don't do that properly, there's a good chance that the chain could, worst case scenario, snap at the link. If it's not flared enough, the chain link could just fall off and the chain will come off. This might cause you to come off the bike, it might damage the bike, or a number of other things. If it's flared too much, it can crack the link, and I'll put up a couple of pictures that I have found on the internet of under and over tightened links. There is a specific amount of flare that you should put on. Now there is a chart, I'll try and flash it up on the screen, and you should measure it with a variant caliper. Is it a variant caliper or digital caliper? Measure the original link, I'll show you in a second. Measure the original link and then you must add the specific amount of flare to that calculation and flare it to that amount. But some of the ones I've seen online, they're just wanging it on and yep, that looks good, jobs are good done, and away they go. And I haven't seen them measuring it. Now they might measure it off camera, but I will show you what I'm going to do. So here are some pictures as promised. So this one's got a chunk missing out of it and the other one doesn't look great. There's an obvious crack to this one. There's several cracks to this one. You can see where somebody's arrowed it. This one doesn't look like it's riveted on at all. This one looks like it hasn't been riveted properly. Again, the left arm one doesn't look correct, like it's not been riveted, and the other one doesn't look great either. This one's obvious. It's the left arm one doesn't look riveted, and the right arm one is split, bit of a chunk missing. It looks like somebody's tried to put this on with a centre punch or something. This one, it looks like the right hand one's been overdone. The left hand one looks okay. This one, if you look at the bottom of it, it looks like it's trying to separate and come off. This one has come off. So you can see there that the link that's missing, you can see the rivet to the left hand portion is still kind of intact. I'm not sure what's going on with the other bit. And of course, don't try and fix it like this. So this is the chain I'm going to use. It's a 525 VX3 X-ring chain. It's a Pro Street, and that is specific for the amount of flare. I have written it down. It's 0.224 to 236 of flare. Okay, there's my link, which is the important bit, and of course the chain itself. So I have my grease, I have my O-rings, I have my backing plate, and I'll have the link itself. If you notice on the link, it's got some dimples. So that's where your flaring tool goes in and you push against it. So this is roughly 5.5. I need to add 0.224 to 0.236, which should make it roughly 5.73, would be somewhere in the middle. Now I got my riveting tool. It's not the best in the world, and I've seen some really good ones, and I think maybe you don't have to check the flare if you use a really good one, because I think the plate that compresses up against it, so your link will go in. There's your other side. So I think your link goes in. Obviously you have your rubbers on. I'm not going to put those on for a minute. That goes on, and you use this tool then attached to that, and you push it on, and then I think there's something built into the really good ones that only push up so far, and it matches the plate that's already on there. So I'm not criticising too much, but some of them I'm convinced they're just wanging them on and hoping for the best. So that goes on. You push that on. I push mine on with a pliers, or like a plumber's wrench, if you like, an adjustable wrench, because this isn't the best in the world. I can't really see when I'm doing it where that's lining up, and it's just quite difficult to get lined up. So this isn't very good, so I just use this and I compress it on until I get a similar distance. So that is 14.1-ish. Let's check another. It's actually 19.1. 14.1-ish. So I'll compress that on until it's on a similar thickness. If it's too tight, you're going to get a very tight link and excessive wear, etc, etc. So that'll sit in there. Then you put the plate on. That is the wrong backing plate I'm using here. It should be the anvil that I've shown in the picture. You screw this up against the plate, and then you push out the flaring tool. Now, you can do this with a couple of spanners, so you'll hold one spanner on there and another spanner on there. But what I found was much easier, because this tool is very awkward to use. You do have a handle. So what I found was using a impact gun, not the super powerful ones you use for taking wheels off, the type of one a builder or a carpenter would use. So the impact gun would ratchet up to that, and it's much easier than holding on to this and doing this up with a spanner and fannying about. That made it work better for me. So we'll try and get this on the bike and give it a go. So we've now got the O-rings on, and using the lube provided, I've just greased it up a little. O-ring, and then we need to squish on the plate. So I'm just using these pliers for a moment. So I've started the backing plate on with the pliers, And now I'm using the chain riveting tool to press it onto the correct amount. 19.15. So I want to get it to similar to that. Now this is nowhere near that at the moment. We are at 20.8 something. It's not far off from 19.4. Let's try to get it on a little bit more. So once you've got your plate on at the same depth as the original parts of the chain, approximately, you can then start using your riveting tool. Now I'm using this first of all with a ratchet and spanner just to set it off, and then when I'm happy with that I'm going to start using the impact driver because it's a lot easier. What's say 5.3-ish, and that really hasn't done anything, hasn't moved it. So I'm going to go on to the impact driver. So this process requires lots of taking the tool off, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on. If you over tighten it, which I thought I did at one point, I remeasured it and it wasn't, but if you do over tighten it, you can't then untighten it. Once it's on, it's on. Now I have put a picture on here of the finished result. I think it's just before the finished result. One rivet is correct and one isn't. Now by looking at the picture I can't tell the difference, and I doubt anybody else can, so it is important to measure correctly. So that's the end of the fitting a chain video. It went on for some time. I've edited it for your benefit. So take the tool off, put it back on, check the flare. I'm sure there are some tools that I may have mentioned already that do up to a certain compression, maybe using the original links as a reference point. Maybe it won't go past that point. There are also some different ways of measuring the flare. I use the calipers, the digital caliper. I did see on one video, I think it was a Japanese dubbed video, an official D.I.D video, and they had some sort of socket that would slide over the pin, and if it went down a certain distance the pin was flared out to the correct amount. I'm sure you can pick those up from D.I.D, but whichever way you do it, make sure the flare is correct. As you can see by some of the horrific pictures I've shown that I found on the internet, some are cracked, some are not on enough, and one of the pictures I might show it now, one of those is at the correct flare and one of them isn't, but from just checking it by eye, I couldn't tell the difference, and I doubt anybody else could. So good luck, enjoy the video, hit like, hit subscribe and all that other stuff. It does help all the algorithms. See you in the next video.